Welcome to the NuBn Spiritual Warriors Astrology Podcast.
My spiritual essence is Walamu Mudada. And this podcast is provided for those who are seeking wisdom on their journey from darkness into the light.
Kee2Star Constellations. In learning the language of astrology and learning how to interpret and analyze astrological charts, there are several things that must be taken into consideration. 1, planetary symbols. 2, astrological signs. 3, astro sun symbols. 4, astro moon symbols. 5, astro houses. 6, ascendant. 7, aspects. 8, moon nodes. 9, patterns or astro patterns. A basic analysis requires the synthesis of these 4 major components. An understanding of the meaning or attributes in each symbol increases the depth of knowledge. In some cases, a basic analysis can be done with any combination of the two. For example, knowing the 4 elements of manifestation, fire, earth, air, and water, helps a great deal. For example, the signs that you see in red, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius, are fire signs. We go to the ones in black. Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn are earth signs. Teal, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius are air signs. And purplish blue, Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces are water signs. This information can help a great deal, as you shall see. Also, understanding aspects. Aspects primarily means relationships or energy patterns. They're often referred to as sacred geometry. So the conjunction, you see the glyph or symbol for the conjunction, that's 0 degrees. Opposition, 180 degrees. Square, 90 degrees. Trine, 120 degrees. Sextile, 60 degrees. And the energy formation you see to the right. Now, we've talked about several aspects, but this is the first time I believe that we're mentioning a square. Planetary squares represents a challenge. It is designed to sharpen your skills or to help you focus on an area of your life that needs to be upgraded in this lifetime. It presents obstacles both internally and externally that requires you to reevaluate some aspect of your life and make the necessary upgrades. That's a square, 90 degrees. Today we'll do an analysis focusing primarily on astro patterns and elements. And these are 2 easy ways that you can make a quick analysis of a chart without going into a lot of detail. astro patterns. Now you see 7 patterns here, and these patterns are reoccurring in many charts. And when you take a look at the chart, it may not fit these patterns per se, but it may have a leaning toward one of these 7 patterns. And if it does, then you'll be able to make a quick and easy analysis. Now, the chart that you're looking at right now, that's the mystery chart. The chart that you're looking at right now forms a pattern called the locomotive. So we're looking at astro patterns right now. This pattern is called the locomotive. With the locomotive pattern, all houses are occupied except for 3 consecutive houses. The empty space is 120 degrees or trine. This person is often called a reformer. See, so when you see a locomotive pattern, there's certain things that you can glean immediately. That this person is often called a reformer. And they're doing things in their life that bring you to that conclusion. The person is driven and highly ambitious. This person is determined to achieve a set goal. The challenge or challenges to this set goal is often found in the area of the empty houses. So that's usually where the challenge will be coming from. Now, if we take a look at our mystery chart, you'll see that the 9th, 10th, and 11th houses are the ones that's empty. And the challenge will be coming from the 9th, 10th, or the 11th house. Maybe all 3, maybe just 1, maybe 2. But it's those 3 houses that you would look to glean what is the challenge. All right, so with that understanding, we're going to bring in the elements as well. So I want to ask you a few questions and like for you to put in your response in the comments. First question I want to ask, what sign rules the 9th house? Just put that in the comments. What sign rules the 9th house? Okay, I'm getting some response. All right. I'm looking for others as well. Okay, all right. So most of you recognize that Sagittarius rules the 9th house. Now remember, our mystery chart has the 9th, 10th, and 11th house. Yes, thank you. Got some more coming in, indicating it's Sagittarius, so it's Sag. Remember, our mystery chart has the 9th, 10th, and 11th house. That's where we might find a challenge. All right. What is the element of the 9th house? All right, put that in the comments. What elements does the 9th house or Sagittarius rule? Okay, we're getting some response there. And you're doing a good job in analyzing this chart with just the patterns and the elements. Okay, all right. So most of you are saying it's fire. Okay, so let me go to the next house. What sign rules the 10th house? Okay, put your comments in the chat. All right. Okay, the comments are beginning to come in. And I don't mind being patient and waiting on your comments as well. Okay, because this is how you learn and this is how you're able to analyze charts, by participating, by being involved. Okay, so most of you are saying what sign rules the 10th house is Capricorn. What is the element of the 10th house? What is the element of Capricorn? Put that in the comments. Okay, I see some coming in. So the question is, what is the element of the 10th house? And if you're not sure, put a comment in anyway. Okay, that's all right. Okay, waiting on some other comments. Okay, got some coming in. All right. So for the 10th house, yes, here we go. For the 10th house, the element is earth. Next question. What sign rules the 11th house? What sign rules the 11th house? Okay, got comments coming in. The 11th house. Waiting on a few more comments. And again, if you're not sure, that's okay. Just comment anyway. Okay, got other comments coming in. So most of you are saying that it's Aquarius. All right, what is the element of the 11th house? That's Aquarius house. What is the element? Okay, I got comments coming in. Get a few more. Okay, all right, you're doing a great job, and I appreciate your participation. All right, you say air is the element of the 11th house. Now, the reason that I'm focusing in on the 9th, 10th, and 11th house is the mystery chart pattern is a locomotive. And it said that with the locomotive, the challenge for that particular pattern will be in the 3 empty houses or in that area. It might not be in all 3 houses, but that's the area that you want to focus on. All right. So now you have analyzed the house, you've analyzed the element. So that gives you some insight into what the challenge of the mystery chart might have, that person might have. You already have a great degree of insight. Now we're just bringing everything together. Okay, now I want to ask you a few more questions. On our mystery chart, the person has water, 8 planets or say asteroids in water, 6 in fire, 2 in air, and 1 in earth. Okay, I'm going to ask you a question. A word that represents the water element. Give me one word, put it in the chat that represents maybe a water element. When you think of the water element, give me a word that comes to mind. And put that in the comments. Give me a word that comes to mind. And while you're putting that in, I want you to well, you probably recognize by now, this is an interactive podcast. It's not something where you just sit back and listen. You are the individual that's bringing forth the energy of the podcast. It's you. Okay, so you put in the chart water. The element that you identified most with water is emotions. I've got some other comments in here. Feelings, push and pull energy. All right. Now, a word that represents the fire element. Put that in the comments. See, because what we're doing now is that we're beginning to narrow our focus on the mystery chart. So after we gather enough information, you'll have a good idea of the energy of this particular personality. Okay? And that will help you in determining who you believe this personality is. I'll give you some more clues as we go down the line. Okay, but you're getting comments in. Okay, looking for a few more comments. We've got for fire, we've got action, we've got spirited, we've got bold. All right, let's go to air. What comes to mind? A word that comes to mind when you are thinking about the air element. You're thinking about the air element. What word comes to mind? Okay, all right, we're beginning to get information in for the air element. Okay, I'm waiting for a few more comments. Okay. So for the air element, and you can continue to put in your comments, we've got thought, we've got intelligence, we have flow. See, so what you're really doing is you're helping to teach each other. That's what you're really doing by commenting and stating your opinion and what you think, and you're helping to teach each other. That's what makes it interactive. All right, let's go to earth. What word comes to your mind when you think of the earth element? As you're putting in your comments, then I would like to do a quick review. Okay, some comments are coming in now. We see that this person has 8. Say water is the dominant element, fire is next, and air is just a little air and very little earth. Now we was talking about earth. This is what you're talking about this is what you think of when you think of earth. You think of practicality, you think of groundedness. Okay. See, so what's happening now is the energy is beginning to take shape and form. As you put in these comments, as you reflect upon this, the energy is beginning to take shape and form. So you looked at the say elements. We also looked at the pattern. We know it's a locomotive pattern. And we also know that the 9th, 10th, and 11th house is where the challenges may be. I want to go back to something for one moment. Okay, I'm going to ask a different question here. All right. Now we know that the 9th house is fire. You already commented on that. The 10th house is earth. And the 11th house is air. And those are the three houses that the challenge may be in. Okay, I'm going to say that again. Then I want you to choose a house that you think the challenge may be in. Okay, see, now you're getting a little more thorough in your analysis. And it's okay if you're not exact. That's all right. Don't worry about that. The very fact that you're interacting, you're learning. All right. So the 9th house, the 10th house, and the 11th house is a house based upon a locomotive pattern where the challenge may be. All right. So then I want you to put in the some people are already putting it in. All right. Before I can finish, they rolling already, but that's what I'm talking about. So where do you think the challenge may be? I'm going to let you discover on your own. So it's no right or wrong. Just put your comment in there. And then later on, you can see for yourself. And I'm not going to say respond to the comments that we put in because I don't want to influence anybody's thinking, but we know put in the comment either the 9th, the 10th, or the 11th house. Or if you think it's more than one house, put that in too, whatever you think. Okay, we're looking for a few more comments. All right, and you're going to put in okay, I'm getting a few more. Okay, all right. You're making some very good comments too. Some very good comments. See if we can get another one before I move on. Okay. All right, here we go. So let's move on. Now, just remember what you just said, because the best way of learning is self-discovery. So you're going to discover yourself. That's the best way to learn is self-discovery. Okay, so we're going to move to aspect analysis. So we're going to take a look at the conjunctions, oppositions, squares, maybe trines and sextiles in the mystery chart. Okay, now we know that water is the dominant element, fire is next, and then you go to air and earth. But we're going to look at, as you're looking at this chart now, and it should become more familiar to you as you're looking at a chart where it doesn't look like, say, Greek or some other language or something like that you don't know anything about. You're developing an eye. So the more that you attend these sessions and see these type of charts, the more you develop an eye. Okay. Now, what we want to do first is go to the sun. Okay. So I'm going to ask another question. What house is the sun in? What house is the sun in? Put that in the chat. What house is the sun in? Look for the symbol that represents the sun. And what house is that in? And you can include the sign if you like to. Okay, I'm getting some responses. All right. Good, good, real good. Okay, now, if you take a look at the fourth house, you'll see the circle and a dot. That represents the sun. Okay, now the sign that the sun is in. Oh yeah, well, I knew somebody was going to jump on that one quick. That wasn't no surprise. All right, the sign that the sun is in is Scorpio. Now, some of you related Scorpio to the 8th house, which is the house that it rules. But in this particular chart, Scorpio is covering the 4th house, but it still rules the 8th house, as some of you were saying. All right, now we've got, look at the chart to your right. We see that the sun is 16 degrees Scorpio. First, let's see if we can find a conjunction. Now, we have 3 planets in that same house and in the same sign. All right. Out of those 3 planets, what 2 planets are conjunct each other? That means they are about no more than 5 degrees apart. So look in the 4th house and you'll see 3 symbols that represents Mercury, Jupiter, and the sun. Of those 3 planets, are any of those planets conjunct each other? Put that in the chat. Looking in the 4th house. Now you can look at the chart to your right and find the degrees of those planets, Mercury, Jupiter, and the sun. Or you can look on the chart and it gives you the degree right above the symbol for the planet. Now, my question, are any of those planets conjunct each other? That means that they are within a 5-degree range of each other. If you see any planets that's conjunct each other, put those planets in the chat. And let's see what you come up with. So we're in the 4th house only. We got 3 planets in that 4th house. We got 3 planets in Scorpio. Is there any 2 planets that's real close to each other based on degree? Okay. Might have to help someone. They were talking about their screen as being a little blurry. Okay, so maybe I can help you by giving you the degrees of the planets. I'll give you the degrees of the planets, then you put in the chat if any of those planets are conjunct. That means you're within a 5-degree range of each other. All right, so let's take a look at this. All right, let's start, let's say, with Mercury. Mercury is in the 4th house in the sign of Scorpio, and Mercury is 1 degree Scorpio. Jupiter is in the 4th house in the sign of Scorpio, and Jupiter is 3 degrees Scorpio. The sun is in the 4th house, and it is 16 degrees Scorpio. Is any planet in that 4th house conjunct or right next to another planet? Okay. Okay. I understand some people are saying it's too small for them to see. Okay. All right. So then listen to this then, and I'll help you out. So if you can't see it, then listen to the degrees, because that's another way of finding, because a lot of times, and I'm glad you mentioned that, a lot of times you can't look at the chart and tell, or you can't look at the astrological chart and tell, because the planets seem to be real close, but they might not be that close. So I'm going to give you the degrees of each planet and see if the planet is within a 5-degree range. All right, here we go. I'll go over it again. Mercury is 1 degree. Jupiter is 3 degrees. The sun is 16 degrees. Which planets are within a 5-degree range? Oh, somebody's on it already. Let's see if somebody else got it. I'll repeat. Mercury is 1 degree. Jupiter is 3 degrees. And the sun is 16 degrees. Let's see if I can get somebody else to respond to that. I'll repeat again. It has to be within a 5-degree range. That's what we're looking for. Now I'm going to give you the degrees of each planet that's in that 4th house. Mercury is 1 degree. Jupiter is 3 degrees. And the sun is 16 degrees. Okay, come on. You can do this. Okay, waiting on someone else. It's within a 5-degree range. I'll repeat one more time. Okay, okay, now you're beginning to put in some information. Right. It's Mercury and Jupiter are conjunct each other. That means they're within a 5-degree range, so they're having strong communication. There's some very strong communication between Mercury and Jupiter in that 4th house. Now, I want to add one more thing before we move on. Now, we haven't talked about this, but I'm going to share it with you anyway. Anytime that you have 3 planets or more in the same sign or the same house is called a stellium. Now, that means that there's a primary focus, that all of these planets are working together to accomplish a mission, a primary focus. We'll talk more about stelliums later. But we see that this person has a primary focus. All right, we're going to move on. You did a great job. You did a great job. See, this is not difficult. Oh, let's see. Do we want to look at any? Oh, we want to look at a square. All right. Now, let's see if we can find a square. Okay, so we did a conjunction. We know that say fire signs trine fire signs. We know water signs trine water signs, but we haven't worked on a square before. So we're going to do a square. We're going to work together on this. Okay. All right. So let's see. How can I give this to you where you, because there is a square. Maybe I'll give you one of the planets in the square and see if you can find the other one. Okay. Let's try it this way. All right. So I'll try it this way. Now, the square, and I'll give you a clue, and then you can take it from there. And then we'll work on squares. That's why I say squares for a little later, because they're a little more, you have to train your eye a little more to see a square. Oppositions, they stand out. Trines, fire trines, fire, water trines, water, earth trines, earth, like that. So you can figure that one out pretty good. But for a square, you got to train your eye a little more. All right, now, let's take a look. I'll give you the sign and the house, and you give me the planet. So I'm going to help you out. I'm going to give you the sign and the house that's being squared. And then you give me the planet. We'll work on squares a little more. So don't worry about it and don't feel like this is difficult, because the more practice you get, the easier it becomes. All right. So now this is the square I'm looking at. The square is a 90-degree angle, or somewhere around 90 degrees. And give yourself like a 5-degree orb. If it's within a 5-degree range, then we can consider that a square, one way or the other. All right, you have in the 12th house, there's a square in the 12th house to the 3rd house. All right. Now, I'll give you the planets because, like you said, it might be a little blurry for you. So I'll give you the planets and the degrees. And you see if you can give me the planets that's squaring each other. Now, you're looking for something within a 5-degree range. So the house that's being squared, and that's one of the things we'll talk about, and some people have jumped on it already. The house that's being squared, that's probably how we're going to learn squares, is looking at what house squares what house. And that's probably the way I'm going to deliver it to you, because that's a pretty easy way to learn it. All right. Now, in the 12th house, listen to the degrees, because the picture may be a little blurry for you. In the 12th house, you have Pluto, 11 degrees, Cancer. In the 12th house, you have Pluto, 11 degrees, Cancer. In the 12th house, you have the moon, 19 degrees, Cancer. Now I'm going to go to the 3rd house, because that's the square is between the 12th and 3rd house. And that's probably the way eventually I'm going to present it to you. Okay, so the square is between the 12th and the 3rd house. In the 3rd house, you have Saturn, 15 degrees, Libra. I'll repeat. In the 12th house, because the square is happening in the 12th and 3rd house. In the 12th house, you have Pluto, 11 degrees Cancer. You have the moon in the 12th house, 19 degrees Cancer. In the 3rd house, you have Saturn, 15 degrees Libra. Going by degree. And remember, give yourself a 5-degree orb. Going by degree, what planets are squaring each other? Put that in the chat. Okay? I'm waiting for someone else. I'll repeat what I said while you're putting in your comment. In the 12th house, you have Pluto, 11 degrees Cancer. In the 12th house, you have, y'all pretty quick. Y'all pretty quick. Yeah, y'all are quick. I guess I better move on. It's like, y'all, we got this. That's what you're telling me. Okay, yeah, you got it. All right. So Pluto is squaring Saturn. Pluto is squaring Saturn. Pluto is 11 degrees Cancer, and Saturn is 15 degrees Libra. The 12th house and the 3rd house square each other. The degrees, the difference in the degrees between Pluto and Saturn is 4 degrees. Somebody might see something else. Okay. The moon also squares Cancer. The moon also squares Cancer. I mean, not Cancer. The moon also squares Saturn. The moon is in Cancer, but it squares Saturn in the 3rd house. The moon is 19 degrees and Saturn is 15 degrees. So the difference in degrees is 4 degrees. It fits the orb. Now, I'm going to give you a little more information so that you can gather something about the personality or the energy. So we have a square there. The 12th house deals with, say, dreams. It deals with the spirit realm. And it deals with those areas that are not necessarily, that are dealing with the imagination more so. I could say that. The 3rd house deals with communication. The 3rd house deals with communication. See, so the way that this person communicates may be in a lofty or dreamy way. All right, we're going to move on. We're getting, oh, yes, somebody said subconscious mind. Yes. Okay, 12th house. Right. Okay. Now, notice, now let's put a few things together. Notice there's a lot of water, and we're talking about the subconscious mind, and we're talking about dreams and loftiness. See, so then you're beginning to see this person's energy field. You're beginning to see this person's energy field. Is watery, is somewhat subdued, but still water runs deep. All right, let's move on. Okay, so we did this part already. We Star Trekked. Okay, you talked about the planets that were conjunct. We didn't do trines, we didn't do oppositions, but we did squares. And you was right on target with that. Now, summarizing before we discover our, say, mystery chart. Now, this is a female actress, African-American female actress. Astrological clues. Her primary challenge was to take authority or control of her acting career and to prevent white directors and producers from controlling her. And somebody said the challenge might be in the 10th house. Look at there. 10th house, locomotive. Astrological clue. She was viewed as a Black female sex symbol when Black female actors or actress were cast as Aunt Jemima. Oh, wait a minute. Now, you look at the Black females in that time, everybody was looking like Aunt Jemima. But she's not. Locomotive reformer. Remember that locomotive pattern? Reformer. And 3-planet stellium in Scorpio, 3rd house. You've got Mercury, you've got Jupiter, and our Sun in Scorpio. We're talking about magnetism and communication. See? So that might be one of the reasons, the magnetism might have been one of the reasons she was viewed as a sex symbol. She was the first African American to receive an Academy Award for Best Actress. This was in 1954. Locomotive pattern, highly ambitious in goal setting. Here's some other clues. She acted in the movie Porgy and Bess, in which she was nominated for a Golden Globe Award. She was romantically interested in Harry Belafonte. Her first husband was a well-known African-American tap dancer. Okay, so while you're contemplating, then think of the first word that comes to your mind, not yet, just relax with the energy.
Assume the position. It may be with your feet flat on the floor and your spine erect. It may be in a yoga position. Whatever position you assume, your spine is erect. Now gently close your eyes, for you are going on an inner journey. And this inner journey begins with the breath. So as you inhale, earth energy comes up through the center of your feet, through the center of your body, to the top of your head. And on exhalation, it showers out the top of your head like a fountain, returning to the earth. Again, on inhalation, earth energy comes up through the center of your feet, through the center of your body to the top of your head. And on exhalation, this energy showers out the top of your head like a fountain.
All right. Now, looking at the clues, put in the comments who you think this mystery chart belong to, or put in the comments the energy of this chart. Any of that is fine. Okay, I got one comment. Come on, let me get some more. Before I show you a picture of this individual. And then when you see a picture of the individual, go back to the energy. So you don't have to put in a name. You can put in the energy vibration. And then as you see a picture of this person, see if you can pick up on that type of energy. Okay, no problem. No problem at all. Okay. Give me somebody, give me that energy. Some people are giving me names and stuff like that. That's good. Give me the energy. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So let's take a look at our mystery chart person and see if you can pick up on the energy that you just gave. And don't forget to like and subscribe. The mystery chart belongs to Dorothy Dandridge. Now, what energy are you picking up? And were you able to identify that energy when you was reading the chart? That's the key thing, to be able to identify the energy. It's okay if you miss the name and all that, or not sure about the name, that's no problem. But the primary thing is that you pick up on the energy. Okay, y'all did a great, magnificent job. You did a great job, you know, and that's who it is. Are you picking up on the magnetism? And see, one thing about it, and I just want to add, is that she wanted to control her own career, 10th house energy. She wanted to lead, because the 10th house deals with, say, like your profession, you know, being in a leadership position, dealing with authority. She wanted to control her career. But you know, at that time, they didn't want no beautiful black woman like this controlling her career, because we got a whole lot of beautiful black women, and they were trying to cast them as Aunt Jemima. So she was breaking the mold. She was that reformer, locomotive pattern, breaking that mold. Yes, yes, yes. Y'all did a great job. Okay, you did. So make sure you continue to come to the class, like and subscribe, and continue to come, because you're doing. I see improvement already. I'm seeing a whole lot of improvement. Kee2Star Constellations. Kee2Star Constellations is a family affair. As a family or an individual, learn the ancient science of astronomy, astrology, numerology, and sacred geometry. The lessons are basic and engaging for all ages. They are insightful and empowering. Kee2Star Constellation.